I have such a contradictory relationship with the online world. I love it and I hate it.
Okay.
It's utopia and it's dystopia. What's this, 2020? In 2017, my daughter was cyberbullied on Twitter.
I saw that.
30,000 tweets in the space of a Sunday.
Jim Carrey, I'm a big fan.
Yes.
Jim Carrey once said that the effect you have on others is the most valuable currency that there is. So the question is, in the talents that you've been apportioned, and I say talents, plural, what effect do you hope to leave in people's hearts and minds every day?
Oh my goodness, that's such a big question. Because you mentioned ego earlier on. I always think that we need to check our ego and remember that it's not me doing the touching. It's not me doing the touching. There's another force at play, and that's what deserves the credit, not me. And so when people pay you that compliment, what do you do with it? When people criticize you, what do you do with it? So I've trained myself, and I'm constantly training myself to not make either of those things define me, because the praise could be gone today and all you could be left with is the criticism. What's left of you if you define yourself by, oh, Azania, we love you, we love your show, oh my God, this is what it did for me. Oh, you know, if we define ourselves by that, then I think we're dead in the water. For instance, the Metro audience was really amazing, fun, generous, always up for monati, you know. Got to Power, and Power was rigorous, you know, very rigorous, very dynamic. But there was also a lot of people were nice to you. And then I got to 702. 702 is the harshest audience I have ever worked in front of, because that's what it is.
Okay.
I wake up every day to go do my work in public. You know, people don't get, for instance, our cameramen here today, they don't do their work in public. They don't get critiqued and marked live every day, right? And so that's when I got to really understand this notion of this needing praise, needing validation in order for you to wake up every day happy to come and do what you do. That critique, how it leaves you afterwards. And then in the same vein, that praise, how it leaves you afterwards, right? So it's important, I think, to have that humility about your own impact. Is it your impact, or are you simply a vessel? Are you simply a vessel? So when I do say my prayers, I always say, speak through me. Speak, say whatever you want to say, say it through me. Put me where I need to be so that I can do the work that you have placed me here to do. Because we need to be mindful. I don't think it's my doing. Some of the luck that you have along the way, some of the twists of destiny that happen in your life are not entirely your doing. So it's a combination of like luck, coincidence, of just divine intervention over your life. So to walk around thinking, you know, when I'm done, I want people to say this about me because
Yes.
I did that.
Yes.
No, you did not do
You
that.
did not.
You did not do that. You know,
Sure.
so
You were a prop in all of this.
I've been a mouth.
Actually.
I'm just a mouth through all of a brain connected to a mouth, you know, with an operating system at the
Yes.
back doing its thing. Like, this is
Everything.
what you say. Go
Sure.
there. Do this. You know, say
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. All right. So the world is shifting, Azania.
Yeah.
The world is shifting online. And in the shifting, we're now buying online, we're learning online, we are sharing our lives online. What worries you the most about this online shift?
I have such a contradictory relationship with the online world. I love it and I hate it.
Okay.
It's utopia and it's dystopia. What's this, 2020? In 2017, my daughter was cyberbullied on Twitter.
I saw that.
30,000 tweets in the space of a Sunday, the 22nd of October, 2017. 30,000 tweets about me, about her mostly, but when I jumped in to defend her, then some of that was directed at me. And the online space it can be incredibly powerful, it can transform lives, it's connected people. There was this guy, Wiseman, who was duped by a motorist who said, fill up my tank 210. Yeah. And the petrol attendant fills up the tank for 210. And this guy's filming this whole thing where he gives him 2 10-rand notes. And so the belief was that he would have to then pay for this bill. People on social media came together. They contributed 210 rands. I did the same too for Wiseman. So social media can be an incredible force for good. At the same time, it can destroy lives. I did a TED talk last year sharing the lessons that I learned out of that experience when my daughter was cyberbullied. It has literally transformed our lives. It's changed her, it's changed me, it's changed our relationship, and it's changed potentially our path. And it's destructive. Social media can be absolutely destructive, which is something that people don't see. So she subsequently suffered from post-traumatic stress disorder as a result of that. So coming online, being defined by a life online is not all it's cut out to be.
Yeah.
What we do, what we say, and our use of social media is not innocuous. It's not innocent, or it's not harmless, I should say. And then you look at the consequences of Facebook on countries like Myanmar and the Rohingya Muslims, the consequences of the like button, for instance, on Instagram, and the pressure that young people feel, the levels of suicides amongst young girls that have gone up as a result of how their profiles are received or how they've been cyberbullied on social media have gone up. Are our kids growing up fully developed in how they connect with other people? I don't think so. You can feel a shift. That's why I love breathwork so much, because it makes you aware. You become embodied.
Yes.
You become more aware of your body. You get out of your mind and you're able to pay more attention to your body. But when you get onto social media, you can literally feel a shift and a change in your emotions. And that also tells you about how you are changing, that it elevates your anxiety. Social media elevates your anxiety. The news coming out of you, the anger on Twitter, for instance, it impacts you. Feelings of feeling like you're inadequate when you look at Instagram and the lives that people are putting out, and you're thinking, oh, my life's not great, is it? So you start to feel inadequate. You can literally feel a shift. So if you're not aware of these things, you use these mediums blindly. They have an effect on you without your awareness. At least if you have some awareness, it might minimize the impact in any moment when you're interacting on these platforms. Facebook, for instance, in Myanmar, people thought Facebook was the internet. And so when a particularly negative narrative started emerging about the Rohingya Muslims, started emerging, people then acted towards this particular group. and they became destitute, a ship that nobody wanted in the region full of refugees, all because of rhetoric or all because of the way in which these algorithms work in putting you in an echo chamber about an opinion or a view. And so I think it is one of the most harmful things to have happened to modern human beings.
Sure.
That's how strongly I feel about it.
Sure. Because you've experienced it, you've lived it.
Yeah.
Firsthand.
So I visit it minimally, with caution, with just an ounce of cynicism, you know, with an ounce of awareness about what can go wrong, what is going wrong in that time. And that's the thing, do you switch off? Do you switch off and get off and live a life of not being on social media?
Sure.
Perhaps you do. Perhaps there is more peace in that, minimizing how much interaction or how much our identities are shaped by it. Perhaps that's what we need to do, because it's harmful.
And so my question now also is, how is your daughter doing and how is she coping?
She has taught me lots of lessons in parenting, in just being a human being. I had said to her, get off this thing, stay off it. And she's like, why? I have nothing to hide. I'm not the wrongdoer.
Yes.
So she's one of my greatest teachers because of her courage. She was more courageous than I was, because my inclination or my instinct at the time was to never return. You know, like go and live, hide away somewhere, live a recluse life away from these mobs on social media. And that's what they are. And no, she stepped back into who she is, and she's even more expressive of who she is, in terms of owning how she wants to be seen. She doesn't care. She puts down the haters with such wit. She's always been someone who's got quite a tongue on her, so she's very witty and funny. And gradually with time, I think she's attracting, people love her. There's a magneticism that I was trying to deny of her. Like I was trying to say to her, dim your light, you know, because she hadn't done anything wrong. We were sugelwa nje. And now because of that light, and I was saying to her, dim that light. And she outright refused. And for me, that is a big, big lesson in, once again, not allowing the world to dictate who you are, how you feel about yourself, or how you should move through this world. So she's doing well. She's doing her, not in a way that I would have liked, for sure. And once again, it's another lesson in a reminder that our kids are not here to be mini you. She's not here to be a mini me. And she's here to fulfill her own purpose and live her own path.
Thank you so, so much for your time. And thank you, Azania, for gracing us with your presence, given your massive schedule. But here you are. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you for watching the episode. Please share your comments with us below. Thank you for watching. I'm Lerato Disego, and I hope you'll tune in again.